Hello and welcome to the first episode of Edge Control. I'm your host Tom. Sat here next to me is my co-host Tron. How are you doing today, sir?
I am doing great. We had a couple technical difficulties, so hopefully we sound pretty good right now, but we sounded like we were underwater for a sec, so yeah, should be good. We'll get started.
Yeah, our technical difficulties, it wasn't great, let's be honest. It sounded like we were chatting to each other from an Xbox Live mic back in 2012. It was great.
It was pretty worrying, to be fair. We were just like, first episode can't start off like that, so we just spent too much money. Well, Tom spent too much money.
Yeah, I spent money on the microphone, and we move on from here. But It's good to go. Our plan for today is a bit of a get to know your hosts section, all right? So we're going to get going with that. We'll kick it off with the first question. Tron, what is your go-to Mackey's order?
Well, out here, it would have to be the double Big Mac, because I am piling on the pounds. The bulking season.
Yeah, you are getting a bit fat, so I'm not going to lie, Tron.
It's not looking good.
It's not looking good.
But the bulking season's fully underway here in Banff. Back home, it would have had to be the Chicken Legend, of course.
Chicken Legend is
with
a
cool mayo,
phenomenal, 100%. I'm with you the whole way.
So
there.
what about you, Tom? What would you say?
My Mackey's meal, it depends. Am I going for breakfast? Am I going for lunch? Am I going for dinner?
Yes, because Tom and his Mackey's breakfast is a thing to see.
Yes.
We're gonna get into that later. But I would say lunch.
Lunch. So we're going for lunch. Okay. Well, let's do one for each.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and we're going to do England and we're going to do Canada.
Okay.
So
Breakfast for you.
breakfast for me. Back in England, stay away from it. Mackey's breakfast in the UK is
it's
woeful. We do not want it.
If you want diarrhea in the morning, that's what you do.
The only time it's good is when you're severely hungover, and that's the only acceptable time for a Mackey's breakfast in the UK. The rest of the time, it is just awful. Stay away. But out here, I'm getting a sausage and egg BLT McMuffin as one part of it. It's a phenomenal little piece. The egg tastes brilliant. It pairs perfectly with the lettuce, the tomato, the mayonnaise. It's a phenomenal little bit of breakfast.
It's all you could ask for in a breakfast, really. It is like the main player in
to me, it's the Roy Keane of your breakfast.
He does everything you want.
He's going to give you 7 out of 10 every time. It's never going to blow your socks off, but he's going to give you a solid performance every breakfast.
A couple big
every
Brexit
time.
tackles in there as well.
Yes, occasionally you can get a phenomenal performance from them, but you just know it's going to do a shift. It's never going to let you down.
Exactly.
The next item in my breakfast is I am having a large coffee. I'm having my coffee, and out here in Canada, I'm getting a double-double. For you unfamiliar listeners, those guys from the UK, what is a double-double?
A double-double is 2 shots of milk and 2 shots of sugar. So double-double, Canadians are kind of weird.
They have weird sayings out here. They also have the 99er, which is 9 shots of sugar and 9 shots of milk, which is the Wayne Gretzky. That is disgusting. I've had one, and I never want to have one again. I felt ill.
How was the blood pressure after that one?
Oh, it was through the roof, Tron. It was through the roof.
It sounds like it, man.
It was not good. It was not good. But we move on.
Me, breakfast now.
No, I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm still going. With my coffee, I get a banana and chocolate chip muffin.
Oh, that's
it's the best of the muffins. Blueberry is good and chocolate is good, but banana and chocolate chip, that is the best breakfast muffin you can have.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. It is a good breakfast muffin. I don't really get muffins out here. Back home I did, but
fair enough.
Well, do I need to try it?
I would say yes, you do need to try it. I was the opposite. I didn't have muffins back home, but I eat them all the time out here. They're so good. Okay. Even your banana and chocolate chip muffin, you get 6 of them for $8 in the IGA. Phenomenal.
Is it good though?
It's good. It's real good. And then with that, I'm also getting some pancakes.
Yes.
You get 3 pancakes, some whipped butter, and some maple syrup. Oh, phenomenal.
For the listeners right now, if there are any of you guys, hopefully there will be.
We know who you are.
We do know who you are. Tom, as you can tell, is in a bulking season like me with his very large McDonald's breakfast right now.
Yeah, I used to eat a lot of breakfast. That's all it is. But
he
Tron,
doesn't eat anything else, just breakfast.
Pretty much. Tron, what is your Mackey's breakfast?
So mine is an English muffin currently. It's usually whatever sounds good. It's mainly when I'm hungover. So sausage and egg McMuffin usually. Kind of tastes like rubbish, but it's kind of what you need in the morning. So
yeah, I get that. I mean, it's not the greatest food in the world, but when you're hungover, you need some grease, you need some salt to get yourself feeling good.
Exactly. And most of the time so far, I've been working in the evening, so I have my breakfast at 12. So I can kind of stomach that right now. If I ate that at like 8 a.m. in the morning, I don't know how I'd be feeling.
You would feel rough. Let's say that. Let's
just
say rough.
It would be a rough start to the day for sure.
And is that your English pick?
My English probably the same. Yeah, I only ever had McDonald's breakfast once in England. and that was on a hockey tour at 6 a.m. in the morning, and it was
That must
not
have
a
been
good
rough.
experience.
That must have been rough.
I barely slept the night before, for reasons we're not going to get into. But yeah, it was a rough breakfast that morning. Yeah.
All good, all good. So moving on to your lunch, Tron.
Yes.
What are you having for your English Mackey's lunch?
It's got to be Chicken Legend. I know I've already said that, but Chicken
Also,
Legend called me.
Is your lunch the same as your dinner? Are they the same items you're going to pick out? Or are you going to change it up a little bit?
There's a couple of extra stuff in there. So for lunch, I would usually get like one of their muffins when I was back home in the UK. Usually just a basic chocolate one because I'm a basic bitch. But that's what you want to go for.
Everyone loves a bit of muff around.
Exactly. Yeah. And then out here, it's usually a donut, like a Boston cream donut.
Oh, love it creamy at lunchtime, don't you, boy?
Oh, I gotta love the cream at lunchtime. It's the way to go. What I like about it is just so chocolatey on the outside. On the inside, you get a little short of that white stuff.
Tron is laughing about a little bit of chocolate on the inside, I believe. He's losing it. I'm not quite sure what he means by that, but yeah.
It's just a Boston cream. It's all you want in the donut, really.
What if the cream came from, let's say, Philadelphia? Is that okay?
No, it's not okay.
Got to be Boston.
It's got to be Boston. It can't be any other part of the United States.
I respect that from you. I respect that.
You'll go now.
My lunch and my dinner, they're normally the same thing. In the UK, I'm going for a wrap of the day. So whatever that is, $1.99, can't go wrong. For that price, it's good. It's like getting your James Milner for 500k. It's going to do the job. You know it's going to do a shift. And again, you're not going to be let down for that price.
James Milner for 500k.
Yeah. James Milner, quality player.
Oh, he's great.
He
can play anywhere as well.
He can play anywhere. He's never going to be the best, but he is good at what he does. Mm-hmm. And that's what the wrap of the day is. I'm also then going to get the cheese dippers. You remember the cheese dippers?
Oh.
The mozzarella dippers. They were phenomenal. I will get a 20-pack share box of those.
Holy moly.
Yeah, and I will devour the whole thing. And then on top of that, I'm probably going to get just a large Coke Zero, because in the UK we have the sugar tax, don't we?
We do.
We do. So if you get your regular Coke, that's going to be more expensive than getting your Coke Zero. And then
trying to promote those healthy eating.
Yeah. On top of that, I'm going to get a mayo chicken. A nice, again, another cheap menu item, but it does the job. The closest thing they've got to that out here is the junior chicken, and out here I'm getting a junior chicken and I'm getting a snack wrap, and then maybe I'm getting some chicken nuggets as well, but I'm not sure. It's occasionally, sometimes chicken nuggets, sometimes not. But out here, I'm getting the iced coffee. The iced coffee all day long.
What I've realised,
especially at the moment, $1 iced coffee.
Oh, nice.
Any size. It's
what
phenomenal.
I've realised about the junior chicken is, for when I've seen it, it's not usually on the normal menu. You've got to kind of look for it. It's a little bit of a technique there, and it's way cheaper than the normal stuff. So if you are going to McDonald's in Canada, junior chicken is the way to go.
McDonald's in Canada is fucking expensive.
It is. It's like $14 for a full meal. You know.
Yeah, you don't buy a full. If you're buying a full meal at McDonald's, you're wrong, because what you're doing is you're wasting valuable time, valuable menu items on fries. So you're paying $14 for your full meal.
Fries suck.
But my meal is costing me $12, and I'm getting a burger, a wrap, some nuggets, and a drink, and I'm not wasting time on fries.
And the fries absolutely do suck. They are awful.
Anyone who gets a meal, grow up.
Oh, okay.
Unless it's a Happy Meal. We'll allow the Happy Meal.
Is that aimed at me? Because I always get a Happy Meal.
It's everyone.
Okay.
Happy Meals are okay.
Okay, good. I just like my toys, you know.
Cool. So there we go. There's our Mackey's orders in. So the next question we've got coming up is, if you could have a dinner party with any 5 people,
in the
so
world.
6 people total, any 5 people in throughout history.
What, are we including ourselves in this? Because
you are extra, so 5 additional people.
Okay, cool.
Who are you going for first? Who's your first pick for your dinner party?
My first pick is got to be Usain Bolt, the fastest man in the world. Not because he's super fast.
Why? Is he interesting? To me, he always seems a bit dull.
I would say I just like his laugh.
Has he got good chat though? Are you going to be able to make him
I don't know if he
laugh?
has good chat, but he's just part of. I don't know. I feel like you need him there. He's a fun guy.
You need him there. You need
I
Usain Bolt at the dinner party.
I feel like you need him there.
Having never experienced Usain Bolt at a dinner party, I can't comment on whether he is needed or not.
I haven't experienced him either, but I just want to. I want to see whether he's the guy.
Fair enough.
Know what I mean?
Who's your second pick then?
It would have to be Jimmy Bullard.
Jimmy Bullard, I can get behind that. That's a firm shout. He seems like a fun guy.
Him on Soccer Saturday and stuff like that. I don't know if he is on Soccer Saturday, but him on shows like that.
Soccer AM, wasn't it?
That's what it was.
Yeah.
He's good fun. Whole city, back in the day.
He's
a fun guy. Yeah,
He's a fun
his
guy.
hair though, I don't know.
Call him a mushroom because he's a fun
Exactly.
guy.
And then maybe Usain Bolt will get in on the. Get on
Jimmy
the chat
Bullard
then.
will be making.
Jimmy Bullard will pull him out. He'll get him out.
He will get him out of his shell. That's good. Who's your third pick?
Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry.
And again, not necessarily because of his footballing abilities. He was very good, but again, I see him all over TikTok currently. He's a very funny guy. Not necessarily what he says, but more the facial expressions. I feel like Jimmy Bullard will break the ice of everybody, and Thierry will just be pulling funny faces. Then you got Usain Bolt just laughing away, probably.
Also, Thierry, he's very good at acting, isn't he?
He is a very good at acting, yes. Not quite as good as Eric Cantona at acting, though. One of those French adverts, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Pick number 4.
And then this one is a little bit out of left field, as they would say, but Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela. Why Mandela?
I feel like you've got to have some serious chats in there.
Yeah,
I'd want to see Nelson Mandela pull out some political views out of Jimmy Bullard.
What I'm saying though is this is a very strange vibe. So the first 3 people, there's obvious connections, are all sports stars, but you're now throwing Nelson Mandela in there, and there doesn't seem to be too much segue there. I think your 5th pick here is really going to have to hold things together. Otherwise, I'm not a fan of this party.
Oh, you're not a fan?
No, I'm not.
Oh, no. Okay, and the last one. Ooh, it's a tough choice, but I think we're going to have to go with Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar, again, another rogue choice.
It's a weird choice, but what I feel like is usually sports stars like their music, right? So Kendrick and them will be able to get on well. And then you've got Nelson Mandela, and I think him...
How do you know they all like Kendrick Lamar's music, though?
I don't. But I just feel like it would be... I don't know, I feel like it'd be fun vibes. Maybe Jimmy Bullard would like that kind of music, but we'll just see. We'll see what happens.
Fair enough. I'm not a fan of that. I'm going to need to hear some more reasoning as to why Mandela, Lamar, and Lamar are there with 2 footballers and 1 athletic star. Why? What? I don't think that's a good mix.
Just vibes, really. You know, just vibes. The first 3 were going well, but then Mandela... I just feel like I want to know about him, you know?
The way I feel about your dinner party here is you've started making a cake, you've put the sugar in, you've put the eggs in, you've put the flour in, but before you put any flavourings or any milk or any raising agents, what you've done is you've thrown bacon in there, followed by a lettuce.
Yeah.
It doesn't mix well. No one wants sugar,
I feel like that would be
flour,
the entertaining part
lettuce.
of it,
no one wants
like,
that.
what
bacon.
would Jimmy
Who
Bullard
wants that?
say to Nelson Mandela?
I don't think he'd say anything. I don't think they've got too much in common.
I want to find out, though, if they do have something in common. You know?
Fair enough, but
it's a weird one, but that's the
what are you
choice we go
serving
with.
at this dinner party? What dinner are you cooking up?
We got to go with the old traditional. They don't have it out here. I've tried to find it, but steak and kidney pie.
Steak and kidney pie. Again, I'm not a fan of pie.
You're a fan of anything, Tom.
I'm a fan of dessert pie.
Dessert pie is good.
Cherry pie, apple pie, they're phenomenal. But pie for your main, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of a savoury pie. A pork pie, I can get behind. A pork pie, that's the exception.
Melton Mowbray pork pies.
Phenomenal.
They are
phenomenal. But
yeah.
steak and kidney, chicken and mushroom, all those kind of things, steak and onion.
I just feel like we got to put it on there, you know? Again, I'd want to see like all their different reactions to the food. Thierry would be there pulling faces because he wouldn't like it at all.
Oh yeah, you're serving.
Jimmy would be like, "This is shit."
You're serving a Frenchman. No, Jimmy's on board with the pie. He's English. He loves the pie.
True.
But you're serving Thierry Henry steak and
kidney pie. What do we think about that?
I don't know. I'm not quite sure what the kind of food
Kendrick.
culture
I don't
is.
think Kendrick.
Kendrick
probably
would
had
hate
one before.
Yeah, but I'm not quite sure what the food is like down in South Africa, so I wouldn't be able to comment really.
Yeah. Anyway, what about you?
Definitely better than the food from his time in prison. 100%. It's going to be better than that.
It would be better than that. He has eaten some shit in his time.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
So, what's your starter? Pork pies.
Pork pies. Then steak
followed by pie. And are you having a pie for dessert?
Pie.
Fair enough.
Pie.
Pie. Are you serving any wine with that?
Oh yeah, lots of wine.
What wine?
It's got to be... I'm going to sound really weird, but some white Zinfandel.
But you're having steak and kidney pie. Surely it's got to be a red to go with the meat, Tron.
But white Zinfandel is like... It's a red, but it's a red that's not a red. It's weird. It's a weird thing. I don't really know how to best describe white Zinfandel, but it's a red, but it's not a red. I'm pretty sure.
Just like Kante, everyone thinks he's a defensive midfielder, but he's not.
I could be butchering this, but it's either that or I had Zinfandel once. But that is like the wine would probably go well, I'd say.
Fair enough.
Mainly because I want to have it, but you know.
Fair enough. Now for my dinner party, my first guest is going to be Richard the Lionheart.
Oh, that's a class choice. What would you ask him?
I would ask him about his time, how he escaped out of a French chateau during the 100 Years' War. I would ask him about his time spent in the Middle East.
This is already different vibes. I went straight to Usain Bolt, and you've gone Richard Lionheart. It's different centuries.
I'm taking Richard the Lionheart, but then I'm also taking Ronaldo. They've both spent time battling away in the Far East. They've both spent time out there. They're going to have something to relate to. And both of them have spent time battling the French.
Is this Cristiano or
Cristiano?
R9?
Cristiano.
Okay. Just one clarification. Because I thought we were going to have the weird hairstyle.
Now that he's out east, I believe, him and Richard the Lionheart would have a lot to get on with.
Okay.
All right. Now, third guest. I've been umming and ahhing over this one, but my third guest, I think I'm going to have to go with Michael Schumacher. Obviously, before the accident.
We won't get into
post-accident. He's not going to be too much fun at the dinner table. But pre-accident, Michael Schumacher, I reckon
you'd have a lot of good stories to tell.
Again, battling hard on track, and Richard has done some battling, and so's Ronaldo.
So's Ronaldo. You got a lot of battlers in there. You do.
We do. And then sticking with the theme, I'm going to move on with that, and I'm going to go with General Bernard Montgomery, the guy who who turned the tide in the war in Africa during World War II. He beat Erwin Rommel at the Battle of El Alamein. Battling away in the East.
I can't comment much on this. This is not my forte.
Fighting in the East. He's going to relate to Richard the Lionheart. Again, they're both fighters.
A lot of fighting.
There's a lot of fighting.
East.
Yeah, there's a few guys who spent time out East, but he's also fought on the beaches in France. Who else has played and fought in France? Richard. And Ronaldo's played a lot of games in France, fought in France, and so has Schumacher. They've all been all over the world, fighting hard in their respective manner.
So who's the fifth one? Who's the last
guy? The fifth manner. Now, this is going to be a bit out there.
Okay, good.
I'm going for Postman Pat.
That's not out there. That is not out there.
Postman Pat, I believe, has some great crack at the dinner table. You've seen the way he can relate to everyone. What's the village he's from again? Can't remember, but he knows everyone in the village, and he chats to everyone, and he gets on with all of them. So how can I not have him there, and not relate to everyone there? He's that good. He's that good at conversation.
I don't know how much you're on the TikTok, but I've seen some videos of prime Postman Pat playing football.
Oh,
he's actually quality.
He can relate to Ronaldo there.
Him and Ronaldo, a lot going on.
He's driving all day. He can relate to Schumacher.
Exactly.
And I'm sure he's had some fisticuffs in his time. He can relate to the two soldiers there.
Yeah, Postman Pat on a night out. He's definitely throwing some punches in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, what are you going to eat?
What we're going to eat to start?
Yeah.
To start, we're going to have. I think we're going to tip dinner on its head here. We're going to start with ice cream. We're going to start with some Ben & Jerry's cookie dough ice cream. We're going to start there because Richard the Lionheart has never tasted anything like this. Neither has Montgomery. These guys, we're going to start them off easy. Okay, start them with the ice cream.
I reckon Postman Pat would be a fan of the ice cream first.
And then there's several people who have spent time in the East here, so we're going to have some kind of. We're going to have some goat. We're going to have some cooked up goat that's been cooked over a campfire, just like when Richard was taken back to his days crusading in the East.
Do you think Ronaldo would eat some cooked up goat? I mean, because he is the GOAT.
No, he's not the GOAT. Well, he's not the GOAT. Messi is the GOAT, but I don't think he's
the GOAT.
I don't think he's the right vibe for this dinner party. I think Ronaldo would be more interesting.
Okay, so he's going to be eating some. It's a weird one. Why goat? Are you going to have anything with the goat? You're just going to plonk a goat on the table?
We're going to have some vegetables. We're going to have some veg. Because again, as warriors, they need to keep their body in peak condition, don't they?
They do.
They're going to need their vegetables. We're going to have some broccoli. We're going to have some spinach. We're going to have. We're probably going to have a little bit of fish pâté for this. We'll get into dessert later, but we're going to have the.
This is like a full course meal.
Yeah, we're having a big meal, but we're having it in reverse. We're having dessert, main starter,
and then what's a starter? Lastly,
we're going to have fish pâté on crackers.
That's a good.
Get
choice.
that fish oil in.
Are we toying like those Jacob's cream crackers from the UK kind of stuff, or? What kind of crackers are we going for here? Prawn crackers?
Holy Communion crackers.
Like the actual like church stuff.
Yeah, because Richard the Lionheart, he can get behind that.
Okay.
He can get behind that. And
do you know if Postman Pat would like that? I don't know Postman Pat's religious views.
I don't know his religious views either. I believe he is a fundamentalist Christian. He's one of those extreme.
I would believe he
extreme evangelical. I believe he watches the Christian TV.
Oh.
I believe he does that. Just the vibes he's giving me.
Yes,
but
I would agree on those vibes.
I think he could get behind having some crackers, some extra crackers, some extra body of Christ for dinner. That's okay. Because the night we've got planned after this, he's going to need to be holy.
Is he going to be going on night out?
Oh, it's a big night out with these guys.
What are they going to be drinking?
Richard can drink the wine, but
Okay.
so we could go wine, but I think we're going to introduce him to something a bit more modern. I believe we are going to get on the WKDs.
Ooh, WKDs. Is that? I've never seen them out here.
I don't
In
think they
Canada.
have them in Canada, but our UK viewers know what they are. What,
Yeah.
what are they? They are just blue,
They're blue
sugary,
radioactive
yeah.
things which taste great and get you drunk pretty quick.
yeah.
But they're great. They're
Yeah.
great. I love
They
them.
don't get you drunk quick, but
Well, they
you
did
drink
me
them
as a
lots quickly.
16-year-old.
Oh, as a 16-year-old you, but you can drink lots of them very quickly, which
Yes.
is what... Yeah, I mean, your blood sugar's also through the fucking roof and you end up diabetic, but
That's
the job.
just a side note. That.
It is. Cool.
Yeah. I feel like that'd be a good meal.
Now,
I
the
love
next
that.
question. You're allowed to take one person from your dinner party on a dream vacation. Who are you taking and what are you doing?
Okay. Who are we gonna go with? I'd say Thierry Henry.
Yep.
You know.
You're taking him. And where are you going? Where in the world are you going?
I
What country?
think we are gonna go over to Nepal
Nepal.
and go climb in the Himalayas.
Climbing the Himalayas with Thierry Henry.
I feel like that would be a great time. Like Thierry Henry would be fit enough that we could maybe like summit some mountains. I don't know about Everest. I don't know if I'm in the right shape for that. He would be.
That's a big task.
If we'd have to be training or whatever. But I feel like it'd be a great time. And again, if you don't understand what the locals are saying, Thierry Henry would pull some funny faces at you.
We're going
Have
to
a
break
great
this
time.
down. You've got 7 days. So
Yeah.
you've landed.
Yeah.
You're over your jet lag. You don't have to worry about any of that. Day one.
We're straight away no jet lag.
Straight away, no jet lag.
Okay, that's a good choice.
Day one, what are you doing?
Geez. I would say explore Kathmandu because it's probably where you
Yeah.
fly into. Okay? That'll be the day one. Go out on a night out that night. Go see what the locals are saying. Enjoy some bars. And then I'd say we'd go over to the actual Himalayas.
Is that day 2 you're heading over
Day
there?
2, yep. So this will be probably in winter. So we're going to have some skiing. Some ski touring. Pretty easy. I don't know if Thierry's ever skied before. But we'll give him a little crash course,
Yeah.
Do that day 2. Day 3, same kind of thing. A little bit harder. And then day 4, 5, and 6, and 7, it's going to be a pretty long trip. But we're going to be getting to some serious mountaineering.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be summoning some peaks.
You got the
have a
Sherpas
great
with
time. Of course, we need the Sherpas. Glacial travel, all that kind of stuff. Having a great time. We're not going to be slumming it in a hut, though, of course. Thierry has some money. We're going to be up there. I don't know if
It's
they
your
have
dream
chateaux.
vacation. You can stay wherever... You
don't-
can build a chateau there. That's
Thierry
okay.
has some money. You can do that. We're going to be
Yeah.
living on a chateau, so we're not going to be slumming it. There's Wi-Fi, there's everything. Great time. Out on the glacier. Thierry Henry. Yeah. What about you? Who would you choose? Where'd you go?
I'm taking Schumacher, pre-accident, of course. And I'm going skiing.
Oh.
Because he loves a bit of skiing. He
does
knows what
love
he's
a bit of
doing.
skiing.
He likes to go fast. And what we're going to do is we are going to go to Alaska. We're going to ski some big, gnarly, heli skiing lines. We're going to do that for 2 days. 2
Yeah.
days of the holiday. Then
Wow. He would love that.
he would love that. I think he'd have a really
So
good
would you,
time.
to be fair.
Yeah. I would fucking love it.
You would absolutely love it.
Then we're going to spend a day, a powder day at Kicking Horse. Bluebird powder day, 30 centimetres under us at Kicking Horse.
Nothing can beat that.
Nothing can beat it. And the ozone face is open.
Oh
we can go
my
ski
God,
that too.
okay.
So we're going to do a couple of laps of ozone and then we're gonna have a great time. We're going to be absolutely exhausted.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a great time. And then on the way back through, well, we're passing this way anyway. We're going to have a night out in Banff. It's the hometown. We love it. It's a good time.
Get him out.
We're having a good night in Banff.
Schumacher and Sasquatch.
Schumacher and Sasquatch. That's what I'm saying.
That'll be a time.
Phenomenal work. I want to see him moving around Sasquatch,
shapes
moving around the
that he
dance
could
floor,
throw.
treating it all like a perfectly guided chicane, just doing everything
He's just
perfectly.
doing laps.
Yeah, be brilliant. And then maybe after that, from there, I think we'd probably head back to Europe.
Nice.
And I think we'd ski Mont Blanc. That could be
Nice.
quite fun. Mm-hmm. And then I think maybe we'll also get involved with some French après there, and we'll have a powder day spent in Val d'Isère.
That'd be
Good.
lovely.
That'd be
Yeah.
good fun. And then, how many days am I on now? I think that's day number 4.
Oh wow, you're really packing.
Yeah, I'm packing this out.
I was just there for some wilderness adventure.
Day
but
5,
this
I'm
is
heading
different
to
kind of vibe.
Spa-Francorchamps circuit,
Oh, good.
and he's going to teach me to drive an F1 car.
I was about to say, are you going to be there before a Grand Prix weekend so you can maybe watch a Grand
No.
Prix at Spa?
No,
Or
no.
He's just going to teach you how
He's
to drive
teaching me
around
how
it?
to race. He's
So you're going to
teaching
be
me
going up the hill at Spa
in an
full
F1
speed
car. Yeah,
with Schumacher
In my
in
ear,
a radio
telling me what to
telling-
do.
Yeah, that's going to be
it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be a great day.
Just make sure you don't crash.
I'll
that's
do
all
my
I'm gonna
best.
say.
I'll make sure he doesn't crash either.
Yeah, we don't want Schumacher crashing. Not again.
Day 6, what am I going to do? Day 6, I think I'm going to Berlin for day
Ooh.
6, and we're going to club it. We're going to go clubbing.
show
We're
you
going to
around,
Berghain.
wouldn't he?
Yeah, he's German. He knows where
Is
to
he
go.
from Berlin?
I don't know where he's from. Good question.
but he'll be able to show you around.
He doesn't give me those Berlin vibes.
No, he doesn't. No.
To me, he gives me the Hamburg, Frankfurt kind of vibe.
Up north.
He looks like he loves a Frankfurter.
He does.
He loves a bit of sausage. And yeah, from there, Berlin, we're going Berghain, the big club there, infamously difficult to get into. We're going in.
Well, you got Schumacher. You're going to be able to get in.
I'm getting in. I'm with Schumacher. It's easy work. Day 7. What are we doing day 7? Good question.
Are you moving out of Germany or staying in there?
We're going to Austria.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to go and ski the Kitzsteinhorn Glacier. I've spent 12 weeks skiing there over January 2021, January, February and March 2021, and that was a great time. And I'm taking Schumacher there. We're going to go do some more skiing. It's a phenomenal place to ski. It's great culture, great vibes. Again, European après ski, and we will say goodbye to Schumacher there. I'm sure he will have enjoyed his time because he gets to do a little bit of racing. He loves his skiing, and we're going clubbing. It's been a great time.
Schumacher would have had a great time.
Yeah,
I'm sure you would have too. As well.
Oh, I will. Yeah, my legs will be shot, and my body will be
that's
destroyed.
All part of the fun.
It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a great time. Cool. Now we're getting a bit more personal with the hosts. I'm going to ask Tron what the most expensive item he has ever bought is.
Yeah, so the most expensive item I've ever bought was my entire touring setup.
That doesn't count, that's more than one item.
Okay, well, just the touring skis then.
How much were they?
Probably over $1,000.
Just the skis?
Just the skis, yeah. We're going to include the bindings of the skis. Because a full set of skis, I know it's more than one item technically.
We'll allow it.
But you can't ski on a ski without your bindings.
Technically, they are two different items, though. You can buy the ski without the binding. This is where I disagree. Okay. Some skis come with bindings. That doesn't count.
It would probably be another pair of skis that I bought then, which was my Salomon S Forces, which were $900. And the funny story about them is I was skiing down Bald Eagle, for those of you who know Lake Louise, straight off Glacier Chair. Last day of my first season, the back of the binding snapped off. Ski went down the hill without me. And I had to go in the trees next to ladies downhill to find it, the ski patroller. So that was a waste of time because they lasted a season, cost me $900.
Don't buy Salomon S Forces. You heard it first here, guys.
The bindings were literally shaking, even like the first day I skied on them. So don't buy them.
Fair enough. The most expensive item I've ever bought. I don't know. If I was to, I'm not sure actually.
I mean, base camp. We already said that. Mine would be Timberline, yours would be base camp.
But we don't count those. That's not an item. That's an experience.
No, exactly. Many items.
I'm going to go and say, I don't want to be boring and say skis because skis is dull, and we don't want to limit our audience here.
Well, I went down the skis route.
You went down the skis route.
I feel like you got to do something else.
Yeah.
You talked about a flight before.
That's useless. That's the next question.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe flights. They aren't really an item either, are they?
Maybe you've never bought.
Maybe it's my watch.
Or too expensive.
The most expensive thing, probably my watch that I'm wearing right now.
How much money was that?
Too much.
You're not going to get into that?
We're not going to get into that. It was too much money.
Too much money.
Too much money.
Okay, now, you've already introduced this.
Yes, the next question. What is the most useless thing you've ever bought? Aside from a haircut, because you always look clapped.
Yeah, well, the haircuts don't do anything for me. What is the most useless thing? Probably... I can't remember what clothes I bought, but I've bought a lot of clothes and never worn them because I just end up wearing the same Brighton shirts every single day right now.
Fair enough.
So, pretty
good
useless.
Good answer.
I'm not wearing a Brighton shirt right now, though.
No, he's not. He is currently shirtless and just in his pants. He's clearly got a semi on. He's at half chub. It's a bit dodgy, and I'm a little bit uncomfortable because he keeps trying to press it up against me, but we keep going. The most useless item I've ever bought was a flight to Munich that I never got on. It was a flight from Heathrow to Munich. It cost me £69. Cost me £69.20, I believe it did. And yeah, I never used that flight.
Producer Kate needs to get on the phone for that last comment.
Yeah, maybe
that was awful.
Maybe
I just want to
should
clarify
keep you in check.
That is not the case.
It definitely is the case. And yeah, I wish Producer Kate were here so that she could deal with Tron.
Okay, and then the last one is pretty wholesome. A quote that you aspire to live by.
Yes.
Tom, you can go first.
I can go first. A quote I aspire to live by is... good question. I had two here, but I think I've made my choice. It's nice and simple. Don't look backwards, That's not where you're going. What's the point in living in the past? There is no point. I need to keep looking forwards, keep thinking about the future. Yes, it's nice to think about the past every now and again, but I can't get fixated on my past. What's done is done. I must move forwards and keep moving forwards, because if I don't, well, stuff's just not going to work, is it? Not going to work.
Going to give him a little bit of a clap for that.
Thank you very much.
Very inspirational.
Thank you very much. And Tron, your quote you aspire to live by.
So I've got 2 of them again. We're only going to do one of them now. We can do another one another time. Pretty similar to yours, but it's don't wait for things to happen, make them happen. So it's kind of not just sit around doing nothing. If you want to go out and do something, go do it.
You be in charge. Be in the driver's
Exactly.
seat. Don't let life steer you. You steer your life.
It is your life, not somebody else's. You want to be the main character. Like some people talk about main character syndrome, stuff like that. That isn't necessarily a bad thing, because I feel like you want to be the main character in your life. Because if you're not, then who else is? Another person? It's your life.
Yeah. You've got to be the main character.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a shitty side character.
No.
Who's a side character in our lives? Let's pick one. We'll bleep that in post. But Tron's agreeing.
Yeah, he's kind of a side character.
Side character vibes.
Who else is a side character? I'm trying to think.
Who gives main character vibes?
Oh, I would say kind of a side character. Yeah.
No.
Only because she wasn't skiing most of the season, so I kind of forgot she was
I didn't see her before that. Anyway, let's move away from the ski chat, Tron.
Yeah.
We don't want to bore them. We don't want to bore them. Cool.
I don't think we have many.
Hopefully you know a little bit more about us now. I'm just going to ask one other question. Tron, what would you describe your political views as?
Oh, Jesus. I don't really get into politics. I'm going to be very boring about this, but I don't really have any.
Fair enough.
Currently.
You don't have any political views?
No, I mean...
So if I were to ask you a question as, do you think we should pay less tax, what would you say?
Yes.
But then if I were to say, do you think we should have universal healthcare, what would you say?
Yes.
Cool. Well, those two things don't go together.
Exactly, that's my point.
Yeah.
Is I'm just like, I don't really.
Would you
talk
put yourself
about politics.
on the left or on the right or somewhere in the middle?
Somewhere
left
in
side
the
of
middle.
centre, right side of centre?
Probably slightly. Ooh, I used to be slightly right side of centre, I'd say, but since moving to Banff, I'd probably say slightly left side of centre.
I think I would agree. I think maybe I'm slightly further right than you, but definitely still just on the left of the centre.
Yeah,
But my views have changed, I would say.
Well, it's called living in poverty.
Yeah, it's true. If you live with no money, you become more left wing. It tends to happen. Unless you're in America, in which case they are deluded into believing
big business,
big business,
big business
and small government. That's all they want.
Yeah,
yeah,
and geriatric presidents
and cousin fuckers.
Alabama.
Good stuff.
There we go.
So Tron recently went to Toronto.
I did,
and he's just going to tell us a little bit about his experience there.
Yes, so I had a fun time with the family. It was a great time.
Who was there? Who were you there with?
So it was Mama Tron, Dada Tron, and Rihanna. We're all there.
For those who don't know, it wasn't Rihanna the pop star. It was Rihanna, his sister.
Yeah, I wish it was Rihanna pop star. We don't have the budget for that.
You'd rather spend time with Rihanna the pop star than your sister. That's a bit wild, Tron.
Sometimes. So there was a nice little island in Toronto. Went there, got a nice view of the city and stuff like that. But the main highlight.
In terms of views of the city, have you been to any other big cities before?
Yes.
Which ones?
Vancouver.
And
Calgary.
Yep.
London.
Yep.
Nottingham, if we're going to count that. It's not that big, but it's decent. Paris. But not actual Paris, Disneyland Paris. It doesn't count.
So yeah, we've got 5 cities there.
So,
okay. And
San Francisco.
And San Francisco. So we've got 6 cities. I want you to put those cities' views, the skylines, in order. So at the bottom.
Bottom is Nottingham. Doesn't have a skyline.
I think we can understand that. Nottingham is a fantastic place to be for some things.
Yeah.
But on the whole, it's not as good as these cities.
It's not as good.
So Nottingham.
Controversial opinion, London.
London at 5.
Mainly because I am a fan of... It sounds really weird, but when you're looking at city skylines, you want really big skyscrapers, I find.
Yeah.
London has that in like Canary Wharf area, but central London, you just come off... Well, how I used to get to London was like London Victoria, right? Yep. Hop off the train.
I was a Marylebone boy.
Anyways, hop off the train. No skyscrapers, pretty much. It's just like old buildings, which is fine, but I like to be able to go to a city and then be able to see downtown from like a while away.
Fair enough.
So next would probably be Vancouver.
So Nottingham, London, Vancouver.
It's a very nice city, nice little skyline, but I just don't remember too much about it when I was there, to be honest with you. It was fun, but yeah. Next would be Calgary, because it's a local one.
Calgary.
It's good fun. The only downside about that is Calgary Tower. You may not be able to get a good view of the skyline. It's good, but when your tower isn't quite the tallest building in the city.
Oh, that's a bit embarrassing.
It is. You're looking up at buildings when you're meant to be in a high building. It's not the best. Next would have to be Toronto. Again, this is where this rates above Calgary. Is the CN Tower. I've never been to Toronto. It's this massive building. It is actually above all of the other buildings. It's huge. It's the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere. Dumb fact for you, but there you go.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, and then next would be San Francisco.
San Fran.
Just because you've got the Bay Area, good vibes. It's kind of a mix between some old buildings, kind of like London, similar, but some pretty big buildings as well. And the highlight of there would be the two bridges. You've got the Bay Bridge, you've got the Golden Gate Bridge. And the other thing about that is you can also see multiple city skylines from around you. So you've got Oakland just across the water, which you can see the skyline of that too. Even though Oakland's kind of dodgy, so I didn't go there.
Fair enough. Yeah. You're not a man from the hood, are you?
No, I'm much as I listen to a lot of rap music, I'm not a man from the hood.
The whitest of white men.
Yeah, I drink Starbucks Frappuccino all the time. So
let's ignore what he said about his political views earlier. As the whitest of white men, he lives up to that in his political views.
Yeah, I just like to sound better to the people,
Yeah.
So getting back to Toronto really quick, I went to 3 different baseball games while I was there by the Toronto Blue Jays, and the weird thing about baseball is they play the exact same team multiple days in a row. So effectively, I went to the same game 3 times over and paid money for it 3 times. So I don't know what your views are on that, Tom, but yeah.
Why the fuck does baseball take 3 days? Was this 3 separate games?
3 separate games.
3 separate games, just 3 days in a row.
So you have a team comes on a road trip and they stay in that same city for 3-4 days in a row and play the same team 3 or 4 days in a row.
That does make some sense. Because
it does.
If I was only playing glorified rounders, I could definitely play that more than 3 days.
Glorified rounders with a cool mitt.
Yeah.
I don't think they have a mitt in rounders.
They have to make it easier.
They do.
Because they use a bigger ball and you get a big glove to help you catch it.
The other thing I realised when I went was the size of some of these players. They are not athletes. Massive.
They are not athletes.
I get it, they're there to whack the baseball miles, but they're pretty big. Like, they can't really run, some of them, bless them.
They are chunky monkeys.
But anyway, I think that's most of my Toronto chat, to be honest with you.
Fair enough.
There wasn't much else to it, but it was a good time. Very fun time. Glad to be back in Banff now so we can start the recording of this podcast,
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, cool. We're going to go on a little break here, and we'll come back. We'll take 5 minutes and we'll get back to the record. But yeah, see you guys in a little bit.
Okay. Are you having withdrawals from the white powder? Are you missing the slopes? Do you need to work on your edge control? Grass skiing can help with all of these. Book a lesson with one of our CGSIA certified instructors today. They will have you shredding the grass in no time. To ski fast, you train on grass. Contact us at +1 403 951 0776. That's +1 403 951 0776.
Terms and conditions apply. You must be over 13 years of age, have all your own equipment, and be in good athletic shape. You'll spend more time walking than skiing. Lift ticket not included. Insurance not included. Must carry bear spray and be able to talk to moose. Good stuff. Lovely message from our sponsors there. Please do support them. They support us and help us keep making this podcast.
Yep. So the next segment is going to be football chat.
We've called it. Yeah, as the Premier League season has come to an end and the FA Cup final has happened.
Yeah,
but we're still waiting on the Champions League, which I believe is this weekend.
I believe it is.
Yes. We all kind of know what's going to happen there, don't we? In the Champions League final,
to be honest with you.
Man City versus Inter Milan.
Oh, it should be a City win.
I
kind of hope Inter Milan win.
City
don't win the whole thing.
I can't see a way of it happening. It's like, the way I would describe it is prime Marcel Hirscher, the greatest to have ever done it, in a slalom race up against a retired downhill racer who's 60 years old. It's
That's an interesting.
There is a way it could
interesting
happen,
comparison.
but it's on City to mess it up. It's
Yeah.
City's to lose, is my opinion.
But
if City play properly, they will not lose.
and plus, it's not like they've been playing like the Premier League in between.
No, they've had
Like
a week
the
off.
Champions League games, they won the FA Cup. They come
Won
off
the
a
FA Cup.
high.
Yep,
So yeah, it should be theirs to lose, really. I'd say.
it is.
But the main story of the Premier League currently is, some of you might know, Mr. Garstang is a Leicester City fan.
Yeah.
And sadly, they are no longer in the Premier League this season. Well,
Yeah.
next season, I should say. So who do you think's going to be leaving Leicester is the question.
Who do I think will be leaving? That's a very good question. I believe, well, we've already had 7 people, their contracts have expired. We've
Yeah.
lost Kaglas Soyuncu. We've lost
the
Yuri
Turkish wonder
Tielemans.
kid.
Those two, they are big losses.
I've seen Tielemans
so-
is already on his way to, I heard rumours of Villa.
Villa.
Tielemans.
I think he could go better than that, but I'm not sure. We'll find out. Let me just bring up a squad list. Who have we lost already? Well, I'll just go through the squad. I'll tell you how they performed this season and where I think they'll be. Danny
wow.
Ward should die. He has been utterly fucking atrocious the whole
Jesus
season.
Christ.
He was, yes, he did keep 6 clean sheets in a row at one point, but his mistakes are one of the reasons we're going down. He made several poor performances.
He did not replace Kasper Schmeichel at all.
I mean, we should never have let Schmeichel go, in my opinion.
Didn't he
should have
walk
stayed.
for free?
No, he didn't walk for free. He went to Nice for 5 mil, I believe.
Why did you get
Because
rid of
Brendan Rodgers forced him out. Brendan Rodgers. That is one man I would love. I would love to meet in a dark alley with my boys and just do a number on him.
Jesus Christ.
He is an atrocious person. He is the reason, his laziness, his managerial performances, he should have been given the sack much earlier, but he is the reason we were relegated.
Oh wow, that is some views there from a Leicester City fan.
Then we've got Alex Smithies. Don't really give a shit. I don't think he played in the Premier League this season, so he's irrelevant. Daniel Iverson. He could have been really good if he had been our number 1 keeper for the whole season.
He's from Denmark as well.
I genuinely
Schmeichel.
believe that we would have been all right.
You and your Danish keepers.
If Daniel Iverson, well, it may not have solved the whole problem, but he was a damn good keeper, and he's made some phenomenal saves. And yeah, that's the way it is. Then we've got James Justin. Now, he was injured for pretty much the whole season, I believe. So I can't really argue with him. I hope he stays with us because he's a phenomenal player.
Yeah, and he's pretty young as well.
He's pretty young, but I do believe he may well end up going.
Yeah, probably to a Premier League club like most of these will go, or
I think
abroad.
He could be off to Luton because that's where we got him from, I believe. He might be off there.
What a place.
Wout Face. We bought him in January.
Never heard of that guy.
He was the guy who scored 2 own goals against Liverpool, both of which were extremely unlucky, and that's not on him, and we forgive him for that. They were both unlucky.
That is a great haircut, though, from what I can see.
Yeah.
He has... I need to take a leaf out of his book for a haircut.
Hell of a trim. But I think he will stay because he's only been at the club for 6 months. I don't think he's going to be allowed to leave. I think
his contract's going to be
simple.
pretty long, probably, as well.
Kaglar Soyuncu, he's gone. He's
gone.
off to Atletico Madrid. He is a phenomenal defender. And Brendan Rodgers, he had a couple of bad games under Brendan, and then Brendan didn't play him for the rest of the season, pretty much. Then he came back under Dean Smith and put in some phenomenal performances there. So yeah, blood on Brendan's hands. Bastard.
Ryan Bertrand next.
Dog shit. Hate the man. He is utterly atrocious. Hasn't played a minute of Premier League football for us this season, I believe.
It's probably a good thing.
Yeah, he is just... And he's gone, and I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah.
Asshole.
Johnny Evans, what a guy.
Just injured all the time at the moment.
Well, the arthritis must be pretty bad at this point for him.
He is pretty old. I don't know if he'll be sticking with us next season. I believe they're trying to keep him for next season, but he only made 8 appearances this season.
To be fair, if you can keep him fit in the Championship, he'd be pretty good.
He would be, but he made 12 appearances, not this season, but last season. Then he made 8 appearances this season. He's only going to make 4 next season.
That's how the math's going.
Get rid of him.
Get
rid of him whilst we can.
Harry
Sutar, phenomenal player.
Australian, mate.
Yeah, young player, 6'6", centre back.
He's a massive. He's like a beanpole.
Fucking unit.
Do you remember Nikola Zigic for Birmingham back in the day?
Oh yeah.
He's as tall as him.
Yeah.
Huge.
I believe he will come good, Harry Sutar. We bought him from Stoke, and I think he will stick with us in the Championship, and he will do really well.
Yeah.
Victor Christiansen, he's done really well for us in his first few games. He then dropped off a little bit, but I believe he'll be with us next season.
Is he a recent addition?
Yes, another recent addition. I believe he was a January
Lots
edition.
of Danish people.
We do have a few.
You're almost
Danes.
as bad as... Who's got all the Danish Brentford.
Yeah, we got a fair few Portuguese, fair few Belgian, and a fair
Look at
few
you.
Danish.
Yeah, Daniel Amate. Well, he
Oh,
was an
fuck him.
ex-midfielder, wasn't he?
He is atrocious, and I wish him nothing but the worst. He's played awfully. His contract is up now, so we don't have to deal with
so
him
he's
again.
gone.
He's gone.
We don't care about him then.
Yeah, no, atrocious. Get rid of him.
Ricardo Pereira.
Now, this is a tricky one. He was a phenomenal player for us, and I still remember that Boxing Day goal against Man City. Was it a New Year's Day goal? I can't remember. One of them. But an absolute screamer volley from the outside of the box after a corner into the top bins.
Yeah.
Put us 2-1 up against City. Phenomenal. In the 80th minute, 89th minute, something like that.
I would say he was one of your better players. When you
when he
were more
played,
successful,
yeah,
he was definitely one of your better players
But
in that really good team.
He's blown his ACL twice now, I believe.
God.
So I think it's
Injury
just
troubles.
time to say goodbye, in my opinion. He's just...
Yeah.
It's not good for him.
Yannick
Vestergaard. Another Amati situation. Despise
He's
the man.
got to go.
He's awful, not very good.
He has to
Get
go,
rid of him.
blood.
Yep. Contract is up. Don't have to deal with him
Now,
anymore.
the next person is one of my favourite Leicester City players.
Timothy Castagna, what a player.
My fantasy football legend.
Yeah, an attacking fullback who is incredibly good. We bought him from Atalanta back in, I believe it was before the COVID season. Very good player. I'm a big fan. Yes, I hope he stays with us, but I would understand if he moves on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Luke Thomas. Under Brendan Rodgers, put in some awful performances. But
does he play left back?
He's a fullback, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Very good. But under Dean Smith, later on in the season, he put in some quality performances. Really showed he wanted to be at the club. Really put some solid effort in. Nice to see from him. Joe Wormleyton, no fucking clue who that is, mate. Sorry.
And we get into the big guns now.
Yeah. Harvey Barnes. It's an
jeez.
equaliser. Ooh, it's Harvey Barnes. What a player. Phenomenal player.
References.
What
Where's
a
that
player.
from?
You've never seen that clip?
No.
Oh, it's an equaliser. Harvey Barnes.
No. Well, all I know is this isn't even Leicester, but corner taken quickly, Origi. That's not even a Leicester. And you get all of the... Who's the commentator who does all of the crazy...
Peter Drury.
That's who he is.
Yeah. But
I always
I'm
forget his
talking
name.
about this clip.
Oh, here we go.
Now Harvey Barnes. Oh, he's hit the equaliser. Harvey Barnes.
Harvey Barnes, what a player.
He sounds like he's locked in his bedroom at like 2 a.m. trying not to wake up his parents.
I mean, it does.
On FIFA, Harvey Barnes.
But what a player Harvey Barnes is. When he's fit, he is unbeatable. And he was last summer, I think, or the summer before, people were looking at spending 60 mil to bring him in.
Jesus.
I hope he stays. He's a phenomenal player. But
Him
again,
in the championship would be insane.
I understand if he leaves.
Yeah.
He's a quality player. I wish him all the best.
The
He's
next two,
clearly tried to be here. That's good.
Tielemans and Maddison, are probably both. Well, Tielemans has already left.
Yeah, James
But
Maddison,
is
I've
gonna
got...
go, surely.
The way I see Maddison is this season, in any of our wins, he didn't perform well. Mm-hmm. But when we lost, he always played well. It seemed like his heart was never really in it, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Maddison, despite his social media posts, I believe his heart was never truly in it. And he is a phenomenal player, but I think his injury is still causing issues. His hip injury. I don't believe he'll be able to keep it up for much longer.
Rumours about Newcastle, was it for Maddison?
Newcastle, Spurs. He's been linked to a lot of places.
Yeah. A guy I'd love
yeah.
Brighton to get, but it won't happen because we don't have the money.
Yeah. Yuri Tielemans, again, put some quality performances in. He scored some good goals for us this season, but again, it never looked like his heart was in it. One of those people, he knew his contract was up, he was never going to have to deal with it.
Yeah, so he didn't care about being relegated, you would say.
Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, in my opinion, one of the Leicester players who showed some heart, really wanted to play, really wanted to keep us up, but...
Yeah. Did he
It
come
wasn't
through the
enough.
academy?
He did.
Yeah,
He's an academy player. I hope we
so
keep him because he
explains why.
can be
He actually cares.
he can be really good on his day. He can also drop some stinkers, but he's getting there. He's still a young player.
Everybody drops some stinkers, though, don't they?
He'll get there all right. Now, Parlis Mendy put some really good performances, some mistake-ridden performances as well. But yeah, I would like him to stay. And Parlis Mendy,
Mm-hmm.
he's good. Wilfred Ndidi. Now this one's a bit trickier. He's going, I think, but I think he's also had too many injuries to keep going particularly well anymore.
It's another guy who can also play in centre back.
Yeah, he is.
Well. So you can play midfield.
At one point,
and
he was
centre-back.
statistically the best CDM in the league.
Wow.
The most interceptions, most tackles, most duels won, most balls recovered.
And he had some big shoes to fill when he came
did.
in because Kante
And he
Listen, the
filled,
guy
filled those shoes.
who left. Yeah, he definitely did.
But I think now, too many injuries, and he's a
Yeah,
bit done.
this is one of the best names in football now. This guy coming up next,
Dennis Pratt.
Dennis Pratt. What a guy!
I think he's a phenomenal player. He has put in some phenomenal performances for Leicester. I think he's really underrated, and he's just not been utilised well by the managers we've had here. I would love for him to stay, but he is a much higher level of footballer than many people give him credit for. I believe he will be going.
You think he's going to leave?
I think he's going to leave. I think he's going to get bought.
Because I think in the Championship he would be a pretty good player to have.
I think he'd be an excellent player to have in the Championship. I genuinely believe he is a phenomenal player, and he's pretty versatile as well. You can play him out on the wing, or you can play him in a central position. He's very good, very good. Lewis Brunt, another academy graduate, not too familiar with him. Neither. Bukabari Samare, he's very good. He can be phenomenal, but again, I think he will be leaving.
Yeah,
I think he'll be gone because he's a very good player, and I don't think we can keep hold of him.
Yeah. Well, the next guy,
Jamie Vardy.
Yeah. He's having a party.
He is having a party. He is a phenomenal player, and I believe he will be sticking with us next season, helping us in the Championship. And having someone like Jamie Vardy, a striker of that quality in the Championship, that's phenomenal. That's huge.
And he's one of the guys who was there when they got promoted.
Yeah,
way back in the day.
Won the league with us. I believe he's the only member of our team who's still around from that title-winning squad. We've got Mark Albright, who's out on loan, and it's a bit of depth to have.
Johnny Evans came just after it, didn't he? Because it was Robert Heath and Wes Morgan were the two main guys, weren't they?
Johnny Evans was the season after that, I believe. He came when West Brom got relegated, which was 2018, I believe.
Oh, wow. So he's been there
a
while.
Yeah. He's been with us a little while. Kelechi Iheanacho, a fantastic player who really wanted us to stay up. He really played with heart. But I think he's too good to stay in the Championship. I think he will be going. He is a phenomenal player. Patson Daka. Now that is a man who could tear up the Championship. He is incredibly fast. He's most famous for his 4 goals in one game against Spartak Moscow.
4 goals?
4 goals, one game.
Is that which European competition was that?
I believe that was Europa League group stage. But yeah, he's a phenomenal player on his day. He just needs that consistency. Mm-hmm. Tete, a winger we signed for 6 months. He on his debut, he looked incredible, and then looked very, very, very average from after that. There was not much.
So, what do we think of the manager? Is the next question for you.
I don't know. We don't currently have a manager.
Did Dean Smith get sacked?
He was only there for the end of the season.
Oh wow! Okay.
So I don't know who we're going to bring in. There's rumours of Graham Potter. But honestly, I just hope they bring someone in quick, because the quicker we get someone in, the quicker we can start implementing a system and a style of play. That's what we need.
And Graham Potter would be a good addition, especially in the Championship, because again, well, actually no, I don't think he was in the Championship for that long. He was at Swansea for a bit and then came to Brighton. He never actually got promoted or anything. Yeah. He's mainly just been a Premier League manager.
But it's implementing a style of play. That's what we need.
And we
have lost an identity at the moment, which we need to get back.
For sure. And then the only news from my club, Brighton, is that Alexis McAllister is definitely on his way to Liverpool.
I think it's a bad move to Liverpool, personally. I think he should have gone elsewhere.
Yeah,
I think he should have left England. That would have been my personal choice. But I don't think Liverpool's the right place. If we look at some of the high-quality players that have gone to Liverpool, and they just don't seem to have performed under Klopp. I think Klopp's system is getting old, it's getting tired, and people know how to beat it.
And it's 50 million is how much he's going for.
Look at the midfielders they brought there. Naby Keita went there, never really performed that well. Thiago, he's still...
Thiago's nowhere near what he was at Bayern, is he?
100%. He's not the same player. For the only exception I would say to this is Fabinho. Fabinho has looked fantastic.
Fabinho's very good, yeah.
But what other midfielders they brought in that not done too well? Oxlade-Chamberlain had that season where he looked pretty good, but then again, I think injuries just got in the way there.
And then the other thing with Brighton players leaving currently is that all of the players who have left have not lived up to the hype since they've left. Like Cucurella at Chelsea, he's been good but not that good. Well, I don't even know if he's been good. He's been decent, would be what I'd say. And then you've got Bissouma at Tottenham, never done what he should have done. The only guy who's been pretty good has been Trossard at Arsenal, but I think McAllister's not going to do that well at Liverpool. But it's 50 million in the bank for Brighton, so you can't really complain. And then Moises Caicedo is probably on his way to Arsenal, which will be another 50 odd million, 60 million. So that'll be nice.
Big question: where do you think Arsenal will finish in the league next season? Because they finished second. They did bottle a title. They bottled a title.
I would say they need to get their squad slightly bigger, and then they could challenge. Man City. But
I don't think they can. I think this is a flash in the pan. I think they'll be finishing third or fourth this season.
Oh, wow.
I think United will be the ones behind City.
Oh yeah, United have improved drastically this season.
Yeah.
Like Ten Hag has actually sorted them out, so they can actually play decent football now,
Yeah.
which they couldn't do in the past.
I believe, looking just at the top portion of the table next season, I believe it's going to be United, City, United. I could see Newcastle finishing third,
Yeah.
and then I believe Arsenal fourth is
Arsenal
what I'm
fourth.
looking at there.
And then where do you think Brighton are going to finish?
Top half, but I
half.
think it's not going to be as
I
good.
feel like we'll drop down just a little
Seventh
bit
or
with
eighth,
all
maybe?
of the extra games. I don't think
Yeah.
we'll be in Europa League.
I don't think you've got the squad depth for it.
No, definitely not.
Yeah,
Well,
not at all.
the next segment we're going to get to is going to be the highlight of the week, I'm sure.
Yes.
Dumb tourist of the week.
As you know, we live in a tourist town. We work with tourists, and we see tourists every day, even though we would really rather not.
Oh, they're annoying people.
They are irritating people, and this segment highlights the most stupid interaction we've
Which
had with
is
a tourist this
a
week.
lot of stupid interactions. You can probably count them on multiple hands if you had them.
Yeah. So
many.
I'll go first with my
for it.
nomination for Dumb Tourist of the Week. I work in a tourist shop. It's a shop that sells keychains, magnets, T-shirts, mugs, things like that. Things that your general tourist stuff. You go to a place and you get a T-shirt that says Banff on it, or
And you throw it in the bin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not really going to wear it. You get a magnet with a moose on it that says Banff or something like that. And it's clearly very obvious what we are when you walk in. We've got some rocks and stones that kids like to look at sometimes. We've got some decent high quality leather items as well. And we've got some wallets and
Yeah,
stuff
there's
like
some
that.
expensive stuff
Yeah,
in there.
we got some good stuff.
It's not one of these shitty Banff tourist shops.
It's
actually
a
got
good
some
tourist shop.
personality. Nevertheless, it is still a tourist shop.
It's still clearly a tourist shop.
Yeah.
We had a lady come in, wander around the store for a couple of minutes, and come over to us and ask if we sold breast milk pumps. And we were a bit confused, and we asked, "What do you mean, breast milk pumps?" And she said, "For pumping milk." We said, "Yeah, we get that, but
from your breast.
yeah, but we are clearly in a tourist shop. I don't think I would know where to buy that in Banff. Full stop."
I don't think you'd even buy that in Camel, right?
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
It was a peculiar question. Walking into the tourist shop, going and asking the guy behind the counter where we are, it's clearly a tourist shop. I cannot stress this enough. It's not like we're hiding stock.
keychains
You can
and
see
stuff
everything we sell. But no, she comes up to the desk and asks, "Do you guys sell breast milk pumps?"
That is a great dumb tourist of the week.
Yeah.
So my nomination is a great one. So I currently work in a hotel. BPL is the hotel. Great
Barclays
hotel.
Premier League.
It is. Great hotel. But anyways, I am in charge of the pool. Go in, do the pool towels, whatever. Make sure they're restocked. And the pool closes at 11 p.m, which is very late for a pool to close. But anyways.
Is it signposted that the pool closes?
It
at
is.
11 p.m.? Is it
It
clearly
is.
signposted?
Very clearly signposted. So certain days of the week we have these professional cleaners come in. They're cleaning, okay? And I'm there doing my thing. Walk in, pool is meant to be closed. We leave the door open though because this person has a lot of stuff. She left it open, goes in, and basically these two random members of the public run in. They run fully into the store. Into the store? I wish it was a store. We make my life way easier. They run into the pool changing room, and then they just start stripping naked and just running. Well, one of us basically naked. Puts on his swimming trunks, and they just jump into the pool. I'm just like,
it's clearly closed.
it's clearly closed. I'm there literally cleaning. There's a guy spraying this like pool cleaning stuff all over the place.
Nasty chemicals.
Yes. And they jump into the pool. I'm just like, no, it's closed, no, it's closed. And they're there. They're just like, we don't speak English. Like, 2 minutes. And I was like, cool. But, like, it's closed. So I go to the front desk to try and get some extra help. The front desk man is just like, I don't know, tell them to get out. I was like, I did. He's like, tell them to get out. I'm like, I literally did. They're still in there. They won't leave. He's like, tell them to get out. I was like, you're a great help. Went back in. Eventually told them to get out. And they was like, what do you mean it's closed? I'm like, it literally says on the door. So yeah, that was the dumb tourist of the week. People just can't read, apparently. Great stuff. Yeah.
Cool. So which one are we putting in for the dumb tourist of the week? Which one is winning?
I
We've
would
got to have a winner
say
here.
yours is the winner for this week, because mine you could expect that to happen.
Yeah.
Some people just don't read signs, apparently. Like, it
People
happens
are
a lot.
stupid.
Yeah.
When
It's
you work
one
in the
thing you
tourism
realise,
industry-
people are stupid.
People are very stupid.
But yours, it just comes so far out of left field But I think that's got to be the dumb tourist of the week. Is
Fair enough.
trying to buy a breast milk pump from
Tourist
Whiskey
shop.
Shack tourist shop. Love
Cool.
that.
All good. The next section we've got lined up is a little ASMR section for you.
Oh,
so
no.
I'll get on with this, and then Tron will.
Just as an FYI, during the podcast, Tom has just he's just added this. We're currently 59 minutes into the podcast. We had everything sorted, and he just adds this while I'm talking about the dumb tourist of the week. I don't know what the ASMR is going to be, but I do have an idea for this actually. So, I'm guessing Tom's going to make a sound, and the challenge is
You gotta guess
I was about to
what
say,
this
you gotta
sound
guess what it is.
All right.
Okay.
So get your sound up because this might be pretty tricky to hear.
I don't know if
okay.
you want to sound up too loud though.
Let's go. You got to guess what this is. That's our first sound, okay? That's our first sound. Any guesses as to what that is?
Yeah.
We're going to go with a second sound now. What do you think this sound is? And now our third
Oh my god.
and our third and final sound. What do you think this is? Any guesses?
Oh my god.
The answers will be revealed in next week's episode.
As if we can remember which ones we did.
Oh, I can remember. I can
He's
remember.
going to note them down.
All good. So there's
Oh
our
my
ASMR
God.
section for you.
I'm hoping I didn't cover the sound of the ASMR section.
What a section
Oh
that
my
was.
God.
The next
Tearing
section
up
we've got
currently.
is our is my co-host
I
Tron.
can't see. What am I involved in?
My co-host Tron is
Oh,
he's
no,
renowned
I've
for
got
his
to see.
culinary skills.
Oh,
He
his
makes
great
some
culinary skills.
phenomenal things, and we're gonna just go through and ask him what he's had for his various lunches this week.
Yes.
As you guys are going to be in for a big shock here with the level of food he's eating. Okay.
It's a wonder I'm still
And the
alive.
amount, the fat bastard.
Okay, so currently working in a very prestigious hotel, I get my lunches made for me, majority of the time. But I still have to fend for myself when it comes to breakfast and dinner. So majority of the dinners, sadly, have been McDonald's because I'm a fat bastard. But my breakfasts have been interesting. So your traditional breakfast, so cereal, stuff like that, okay? So I haven't actually done this yet, but this is going to be my breakfast once I've come off the podcast. Yes, I haven't eaten yet, and it's currently 1:25. But I bought some of those like bran flakes, you know, this great bran flakes, and I forgot I don't have any milk or anything else. So I'm just going to be drinking.
Let me jump in there. Are you going to be eating bran flakes with water?
Oh, no, that would be
Good,
taking
good.
it a little bit step
That
too
would be
far.
too far.
I was be eating dry bran flakes.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I wouldn't know what's worse. I think water would be slightly better. But,
No, I think water would be worse because it gets so soggy, but there's no flavour to the sog.
but it's still dry.
A
at the end of the
flavourless
day.
sog is not very nice.
And yesterday, my culinary skills were again. This was my breakfast and lunch, in fact. I had about 4 oranges, and then a whole pack of cookies. Very, very nutritious. Not quite the bread without anything in between that I had during the winter.
Yes.
But that will be coming. That will be the highlight of the
bread
podcast
sandwich.
in the winter. Will be my bread sandwiches, which are quality, by the way.
yes.
They taste great. I don't know what you have against them.
It does not taste great,
It
Tron.
does.
A
It
bread
tastes
sandwich
great.
tastes of bread, and bread
Bread
is a
tastes
pretty
great.
flavourless thing.
No, but then you buy the bougie breads.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
can't afford the bougie breads in Banff though. So
Yeah, Banff is expensive
my
to live.
stomach is currently grumbling as well. which
Cool.
is
Well,
not a
we will
good look.
try and wrap up. We're going to move on to our legal advice section. So one of our listeners has sent in this question, and our legal advice question comes from the subject of the email that we received is, I think.
Can we say which country this person who sent us
Oh
in
yes,
is
this
from?
person's from Canada. This person's
Yes,
from Canada.
Okay. You just because we have a worldwide fan base is what
Yeah, we do.
get.
Yes, we do. We do have a worldwide
So
fan
we need
base.
to.
So I'm
and
gonna-
Plus, when we're offering legal advice, we know what country is, so we know the laws in that country.
Yes.
Anyways,
Yeah.
continue, Tom.
So, my friend, female 13, is dating this guy online. Male 17, soon to be 18. Here's our first issue. What is an nearly 18-year-old doing dating a 13-year-old online? This is strange.
This is
very strange. It gets worse.
Okay.
He lives in Maryland.
It's a disgusting place.
Even worse, this guy has a criminal record. He got sent to jail for possessing drugs in his vehicle, and he smokes. She's planning to marry him when she's 19, and he's planning to meet her. This is all very strange.
I didn't read the planning to marry him beforehand.
Yes, this is very strange. The rest of the email goes on to say, I'm scared that my friend got herself in serious trouble. She's justifying that a relationship is okay because her parents have a 9-year age gap. She herself even said that he's a bit creepy, and that he promises that even if he's really horny, he wouldn't force her to have sex with him. I need help.
Was a bad time
is it illegal or not? He's also said that I found out that they strip naked on FaceTime and talk dirty.
And she's 13.
Yes, and he's told his parents, and his mum thinks he shouldn't call the cops because it has nothing to do with him. Well, this is not good, is it? This is really not good.
This is the definition of not good. If you looked up in the dictionary, this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom, do you have any legal advice for this person? One of our listeners as well.
I would notify your friend's parents would be my first thing to do. My first piece of advice is get her parents to know what's happening, because that's the main issue there. Because this guy sounds like a fucking weirdo.
He does sound like
the 18-year-old from Maryland. Yeah. He sounds like an absolute cretin, if I'm honest.
So I would hope that the friends...
But this is also slightly tricky because they're going cross-border there, aren't they? Maryland is in the US.
Yes, it is in the US. And as we know, the US likes to do some weird stuff sometimes.
They do. This is very strange. Yeah, I'm
kind of speechless.
I'm speechless.
My legal advice would be... It's so the title of it. I don't know if Tom read this, but I think my friend is in trouble. But I don't know if it's illegal or not.
Yes, it is illegal. Adults cannot sleep with children. That is not allowed.
Yes, he's 17, but he's about to be 18. It is very illegal. It is very worrying.
The other thing this touches on is an age gap, and a 9-year age gap is not too much of a thing if one of you is 49 and one of you is 40.
Yes.
However, well, she talks about her parents having a 9-year age gap. 49 and 40, that's not too bad.
Yes.
But
and
the age gap here
meet when all of them was 13 and one of them was 22.
Almost how many? It's 5 years. When does a 5-year age gap become acceptable? Because I still think it's weird if a 27-year-old is dating a 22-year-old. I find that a bit strange.
Yes.
That's still a little weird.
I find it more acceptable in the 30s.
Yes, when one of you is 30, one of you is 25, to me, that's okay. That's 29, 24, that's okay. Like 27, 23, we're kind of looking good. But 22-ish, obviously, it's a case-by-case basis. But in general, I would say 23, 28 is the youngest. Mm-hmm. Is the youngest one of those.
Once you start to get into your... Not that I'm in my mid-20s yet, and I definitely don't act like I'm in my mid-20s. But once you're more in your mid-20s, I feel like it would be better.
100%.
You kind of more know what you're doing with your life and everything.
100%. So, to sum up, I think my friend is in trouble. Yes, she is in trouble.
She's in a
lot of trouble. This is not a good place to be. But I don't know if it's illegal or not.
It is.
It is.
Even if it is in the US, because
this is grooming. It is grooming.
It is grooming.
And on that note, let's move on. We're now going to move on to some relationship advice.
Yes, because me and Tom Garstang are we know what we're doing when it comes to relationships.
We do know what we're doing. So we received this email. Okay.
Again, this is from another fan.
Yes. And yes. Shall I read this one out again?
Yes, please.
So, my husband, the lady here is 32 and the male here is 34, slept with his co-worker. They've been married for 12 years this June. She initiated a separation back in November for various reasons. Mostly a lot of alcohol-fueled arguments between us. That's never good. No. We have 2 young children together and agreed to take some time apart to work on ourselves and our marriage with a bit of space between us. He moved into an apartment 3 minutes away from me and the kids. Not too bad. They're still going to see the kids. All good so far. We initially agreed not to get involved with other people romantically, but we altered that agreement a few months later in March. Gotta get you... People get horny. They've got needs. They deserve to have those needs met. We were both speaking to other people and having sex with them. Fair enough. Now, 6 months later, my husband is ready to come back. I'm not 100% certain on this, because I just feel like once we opened up our marriage, he became increasingly detached from me.
Are they in an open marriage?
They were. So they separated, opened up.
Yeah.
to help each other.
Yeah.
And now he wants to come back.
Okay. I got lost there for a second.
There were so many times he would ignore my calls for days, and I would have no clue if he was okay or even alive. Come to find out, he's been sleeping with multiple women.
Interesting.
What a player. But the main women he's had relations with is his female co-worker. Now this is...
Where it gets interesting.
This is interesting. Now my husband is a roofer, which is a mostly male-orientated field. The girl in the female roofer... The girl is the only female roofer in his company. She's also 21 years old.
That's an interesting thing.
That's a 13-year age gap.
Yes.
Interesting.
It is.
Interesting. I actually know her, as my husband has been with the company for 7 years, and I've been to multiple work events where I've met everyone, including her. Oh, yeah, this is getting juicy.
Yeah, the fact that they've met is interesting.
I can't get over the 13-year age gap.
And he has a wife and kids.
Now, I could understand if this was a one-time thing. It happened.
Yeah.
And they've moved on. But it's only happened once. But no, you've said the main woman he's had relations with for 6 months.
And they keep on going back.
Yeah, that's not good. Another note that it's very well known, she has slept with multiple other men within the company.
Oh.
The game is the game.
Yeah.
Don't hate the player, hate the game. She's just trying to get a raise. I'm fuming because I think it's completely irresponsible to shit where you eat. I agree. Never mind the fact that he's 13 years older than this girl and she seems to just being passed around the roof like a sack of potatoes.
Oh, Jesus.
That's a weird turn of phrase, but
Yeah.
I see what you mean. She is having a train ran.
Wait.
She's getting passed around like a zoot.
Like a joint.
Like a joint, like the doobie, the devil's lettuce.
Yep.
I was on board with him moving back in and starting back together with him. Now I'm very hesitant. He made it clear he had no intentions on finding a new company to work for and says that him blocking her would suffice. My gut is telling me no, but my heart is so conflicted. Should I take him back and amount the relationship to it being strictly sex since it was an agreement between us, or should I go with my gut and leave, believing that it is not possible for him to continue working with the only female co-worker he has, whom he slept with multiple times?
That is a lot to take in.
Yeah. I'm going to say...
I would say...
we can't see the whole story here.
No, again, it's not like... We only know from one person's perspective.
But my advice here is you need to go and sleep with some male that you work with. Get him back. See how it feels on the other side. And then if he's okay with that, and he feels comfortable with that, well then that's okay.
Yeah. Fight fire with fire.
Or you go and sleep with this girl.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's how we solve this.
Yeah.
I feel like it's too far gone. So they need to make this now a love triangle.
Maybe there was no
It's what
emotional
needs to happen.
attachment. Maybe she was just really good in bed.
And maybe
So
she
you need
needs
to
to
go
find out.
You
as
need
well.
to find out.
Yeah.
Because it's
go
only
find out.
an 11-year age gap here, which isn't that as bad as 13, as
No.
we know. So that's
Yeah.
okay.
It's allowed.
Yeah.
This, unlike the other story, is not illegal with those age gaps.
It's still dodgy.
It's frowned upon.
And if he's her boss, then it would be illegal, I think.
Oh,
it'd be a grey area. It'd be certainly a mucky area, but
we love.
yeah, it's not a great situation. But yeah, my advice: sleep with the female co-worker.
Yes, I agree with that advice. I second that. My other advice would be maybe even just join the roofing company as well.
Yes.
And then you can just go sleep with his other co-workers.
Yeah.
And there you go.
There you go.
And then you also you're shitting where he eats as well.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Join
that
for a
makes sense.
week.
Just get laid.
Every night, every lunchtime.
And then leave.
Leave. Show him the videos.
Yeah.
And leave.
There we go. Easy.
I think we dealt with that really well.
I feel like we should be relationship counsellors. I agree. We are phenomenal at this.
Now we've got a.
Oh my god.
Now this one is strange. The guy here wants to know if he's in the wrong here, or if his wife is in the wrong here. He wants us to decide. The judge of the court of Tom and Tron.
I feel like it's what we should
Court
call
is
this.
in session.
We should call this segment the Court of Tom and Tron.
The court of Tom and Tron.
Those two previous ones are in that as well.
Yeah. Court is in session.
We should buy you a judge's wig.
So, I'm a 37-year-old male and my wife is a 36-year-old female. We have 2 kids, both girls, 5 and 7 years old. My wife is now pregnant with our 3rd kid. She's 20 weeks pregnant. My daughters have never been picky about their food since I used to cook all meals and never introduced them to junk food. However, about 2 months back, I was assigned to a new project at work and started working long hours, about 70 hours a week, so I have been unable to cook as often now. I wanted to hire a cook because my wife was having severe pregnancy symptoms. What's severe pregnancy symptoms? Is that just my wife was pregnant?
I think like morning sickness, maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe. Fair enough.
But still, you're growing a kid inside of you. It does kind of,
It takes it out of you.
Definitely
But my
does.
wife said she wanted to try cooking for our kids, and she also didn't like the idea of a stranger at our house. I agreed to her idea since she suggested it herself. For the first month or so, she cooked pretty diligently for the kids and both of us as well. However, after that, she reduced the quality of the meals. What I mean is she started making easy-to-cook foods for the kids. She also started giving them junk foods as snacks so they wouldn't be hungry for real meals. I chalked it up to her pregnancy nausea for the first few weeks, but last week, when I prepared an elaborate meal for the family on Sunday, the kids refused to even touch the food because they wanted the usual buttered noodles. So I told my wife that I'd be cooking all the meals from now onwards because the kids are getting spoiled from eating junk food all the time. She got mad at me and said she's trying her hardest and I should be more appreciative. I told her no one forced her to cook and I had already suggested hiring a cook, but she was the one who refused. She said that I don't understand her discomfort with having a cook and that hiring one was out of the question. She also told me that I can cook all meals if I think it is easy to feed the kids healthy food. I told her I would do just that. That very night, I stayed up making different kinds of healthy food options for the week. Fruit salad, chicken stir-fry, pasta sauce with veggies, mushrooms and tomatoes, and blended it all. Cauliflower soup and banana bread. I froze everything so they can be reheated during the week. I have just been reheating food throughout the week and giving it to the kids. Since they want only noodles, I added the sauce and chicken stir-fry to the noodles along with grated cheese. They just eat it without detecting any veggies in it. For their school lunches, I pack ham and cheese and tuna chicken sandwiches the night before, along with fruit salad and chocolate milk. They get a slice of banana bread for after-school snack, sandwiches and soup for dinner for me and my wife. My wife told me the food tastes good, but it's stale, so she doesn't think it's any better than what she used to cook for the family. I told her at least I was putting effort into the meals, unlike her, who was using the kids' picky behaviour as an excuse to be lazy. She got mad at me and said she wasn't being lazy and the kids were really picky. Now she's not speaking to me for the past 2 days.
Oh.
Who's in the wrong there?
So
This is a tricky one.
the question is, did he put the food? When he's preparing the food, is he putting it in the fridge?
He said
or
the freezer.
Okay, well, it doesn't go stale.
I think what this comes down
it?
to is he's tired from working 70 hours a week. That's
Yeah.
a lot of effort, and that's making him tired.
Yeah.
The wife is heavily pregnant. She's tired as well. When two people are tired, it's hard to communicate properly.
Yes.
There's a lack of communication here.
Yes.
So, whilst I believe he is in the right about the food, the way he's talking about it with his wife is what the issue is. The communication, the way of communicating is the issue. So, when he called her lazy, well, I don't think that was the right way to go about it. You should have come out with something different. And it's just a communication thing. I think if they can work out the communication, that's what needs to happen.
I would agree.
Alternatively, get your kids hooked on something really addictive. Get them really going for meth's pretty addictive, isn't it?
Yeah,
put that in the food.
Then
Put
they
that in the
want to
food.
eat.
Yeah, then they really want to eat.
There we go. That's what we do.
Get your kids addicted to meth. That's the solution here. But no, in all seriousness, I believe it is just a lack of communication. She's tired, you're tired. I think if you could try and find out why she's averse to having a chef. Is it because she feels she should be doing that herself? Or is it because there's gonna be a reason, isn't there? If you can find out that reason, you'll then be able to either understand why she doesn't want it, and then that's okay, or maybe you could actually convince her to have one. You need to dig deeper and work this out yourself, okay? We can't give too much help. It's all on you guys to communicate. I don't feel like we're getting the whole story here, but from what you've said, yes, you're trying to get the kids to eat healthier and you want everyone to eat healthier. That's okay.
Yes.
That's okay. I think the wife is maybe a little annoyed that, the lack of communication, the way things have been done is the issue here.
Yeah, and realistically, I'm not one to talk about good food.
No, he is not.
I don't know how much I should really speak on this, but yes, stale food is not good. I have eaten a fair share of stale food myself, and I know what it tastes like. This does not sound like it is stale because it's in the freezer. I freeze a lot of food because I am a very lazy man, but it doesn't keep it fresh. That's the wrong word. It keeps it edible. But
it's definitely not stale.
No, it definitely not stale.
Maybe it was reheated too much, and maybe that could give it the effect of being stale.
Yes, I personally have had a lot of trials and tribulations of reheating food.
Yes.
That they look like dogs' breakfasts by the end of it.
Maybe what you need to do is get the food to be defrosted first.
Yeah.
One way around this. Defrost the food first, and then heat it up slowly in a pan or a microwave or something.
Well, like a
if you
slow
just,
cooker.
Yes.
Would that work?
Well, get it defrosted first, then just a reheat job. Because if you just try to do it straight from frozen,
it's
could
where it
end
gets
up with it
interesting.
feeling stale.
Yeah, and my advice about the fast food is when I become a dad, that's what I'm gonna do. You can't. I'm gonna be lazy. No, I'm for all seriousness, I would like cook the meals and then freeze it, because it makes life way easier. Or even like try and do, you can maybe do some microwavable meals if you wanted to as well. But yeah, I'm gonna hand this back over to Tom for a sec. As I don't have too much more to say.
I think that's a good question. That's a good response, and I think we can pretty much wrap it up there. If you guys have any questions you want answering, please email us in to tomntron. So that's TOMNTORN @gmail.com.
Tom and Torn.
Oh, TRON even. Tom and Tron, not Tom and
Tom
Torn.
and Torn.
Yes.
That's not my name.
Tom and Tron.
That was it. You say at gmail.com.
Yes, at gmail.com.
Okay.
And follow us on Instagram at, I believe it is just Tom and Tron.
And then the other thing is we want your suggestions as well.
Where do you want this podcast to go? We're thinking about getting some guests on.
Yes. And if you want some advertising, if you want to sponsor a segment, like sponsoring the...
get in touch. tomntron at gmail.com.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I believe that's it.
I believe that is everything.
And we will be releasing every Friday.
Yes, every Friday there will be a new episode. There may be a couple of gaps here and there, but we are going to try and do it every Friday. We're going to try and get some guests on. If you want to be on, email us. Let us know. Follow us on Instagram. And good stuff. Yeah. That's a wrap on episode 1. Yeah, good stuff. Cool.
Bye, guys.
Toodle pip, and we'll see you next week.